Hi, Jim.
Sorry.
I'm kidding.
We're here with Dr. Adrian Bowles, and we've got some questions for him about AI.
Okay.
So, why is AI any different this time than the last two times? Because it's been around a long, long time, and we just came out of an AI winter.
I don't know if you're insinuating that I've been around a long, long time so that I would remember it, but I have, and I do.
Me
and so
too.
I'm glad you had that question, because I make the distinction between classic AI, which is everything from the 1950s through the late 80s, early 90s, as sort of the foundation for everything we're doing today, defining the different sub-areas, learning, understanding, representation, vision, things that look like they take human cognitive processes and automate them or simulate them. And what we're doing today, which is really the same type of problems that are being solved, but the key differences are the availability of big data and the ability to manage that data, and deep learning reaching a point of maturation so that it's practical to apply. And for the deep learning to be practical, you really do need the big data, but also hardware that we have today that will process things that we couldn't do
Well, that makes sense.
20, 30 years ago.
Things have advanced.
Yeah.
So where are you seeing the most success in the client base? Is it around NLP? Is it around digital assistants? Is it around machine learning? What's it? Where do you see stuff getting traction?
Well, where do you see success? I would say almost anywhere you look for it, if you look hard enough right now. And so the areas that get a lot of attention obviously are things that are based on machine learning and deep learning. And that gets our attention in things like machine vision. And you talk NLP, natural language processing. Within NLP, it's really the front end, the front half, if you will. It's natural language understanding. There's not so much in natural language generation yet, but using the modern techniques for natural language understanding has changed everything from household appliances to your Echo and Siri and things that we carry with us, to interfaces on enterprise systems. So it's the interface, I'd say, that's the big area.
Okay, so is there the pressure on rate of return and cost benefit with AI this time, or is it just everybody's doing it now because it's hot?
Well, I think ultimately there's always pressure to be able to demonstrate a payback. That doesn't go away. But just as we see investment in anything that improves productivity, there'll be people that are willing to experiment and try things, knowing that you might not get the ideal results right away, but you'll get something that'll be a proof point so that as these things mature, you'll be better positioned to lead the pack.
Is this happening just with the cash cows, or are more people experimenting than in the past?
Oh, many more experiments than in the past, and the big part of that is the availability of AI-type services, cognitive services, if you will, in the cloud. So you can go to Azure and get machine learning API-enabled pieces of functionality. You can get it from Google, you can get it from Amazon, from IBM on Bluemix. You can go out there and experiment for very little investment.
So let's say this matures and we get past this experimental stage. How are people going to find all of these cognitive services? I mean, is there some repository in the sky that helps them find it? Or do you have to be a data scientist and be inoculated with AI knowledge?
Wow. How do they find it? I'm thinking about the inoculation because, I think we're going to have, just as there are people that are fearing AI, folks like Elon Musk talking about the potential danger, maybe we'll have the anti-vaxxers of AI. I won't be inoculated with AI knowledge, but you'll still have to deal with it. So how are they finding it? Right now, I think it depends on who you are. If you're developing any sort of technology, you have to be looking at it. And if you're not, then you're probably going to get run over by somebody who is.
Speaking of getting run over, would you get into a self-driving car at this point in time?
You know, years ago, I taught software engineering for a long time, and people said, well, would you get on a plane if it was being controlled by software written by your students? And there was a joke that, you know, you wouldn't have to worry because it wouldn't take off the ground. But right now we know with autonomous vehicles, they're out there, and they're certainly coming, and they'll be fairly ubiquitous in areas of high density. You know. Would I get into one? Sure. You know.
Well, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jim. Always a pleasure.
Take care.